Hello and welcome everyone to another special edition episode, which is my impressions of Nintendo NX, or as we finally got to know the name, it's called Nintendo Switch. Sorry that I look a bit rough, I'm actually starting to feel under the weather as well, and I'm still at the hospital with my wife. Nevertheless, the trailer just came out. And it was a 3-minute trailer that you can actually find if you just look for Nintendo Switch on the YouTube. And actually, it's a bit of a mixed bag. I mean, I was impressed by a lot of things, even though, like I suspected in the video before, we didn't really get any kind of answers apart from just what it looks like and what it does. And even there, we have no idea what's the hardware inside. We have no idea what's the price. I've actually heard it's going to be somewhere around $299. There's going to be a bundle of about $399, but I mean, that remains to be seen. So what have we seen in the trailer? Well, first of all, we've seen that there was a guy pretty much sitting and playing this thing with, it's kind of a like, I mean, it's definitely a modular console, but the thing is there's so many modules that it actually frightens me a little bit. So the system itself looked kind of something like a tablet just inside the Wii U. Like it slid inside of whatever that base station is. It's actually quite big by size, I think. Now the guy was sitting and playing with something that looks like two controllers attached to something in the middle. It was like some kind of like a rectangular thing with a green light in it. I guess maybe that's some kind of a like additional battery pack for the controllers. I mean, maybe that's the way that thing charges. So the dog actually asked the guy, like, let's go for a walk. So the guy just took, basically, he slid both of his controllers on the sides, slid it into the dock onto the screen, pull the screen out, and just go and play pretty much the same game on the go, like we expected before. Now, the things didn't really stop there. What it actually impressed me is that how much they actually think about it. Not only that those two controllers can actually function like two independent, I mean like two controllers that you can hold in your hands, or you can put them together or separate. For example, left one you can be running and the right one you can be pressing the buttons and shit like that, like to attack or something in the games. What actually excited me the most is that you can actually do a split screen multiplayer in some of the games using these two controllers. You can give one to your friend. Yes, it's tiny, it's really small, it's not going to be comfortable for someone with a fucking big hands like I don't know, somebody have a sausage hand, you will struggle a lot. I mean, my hands are not small by any standard, so I don't really like small controllers, but I mean, it's good. I mean, it's kind of it's not a gimmick, it's a nice addition to have, but they show two guys sitting in a fucking van at the back playing like I think a Mario Kart or something like that on a split screen on a 7-inch screen. I mean, I understand split screen on a 40-inch, that's bad enough for me, but on a 7-inch, I mean, I guess, yeah, if you're in a tent or something and you really need your gaming fix, that's a great idea. Now, also what I noticed there is that they also show that they have a pro controllers, like a proper PS4 and Xbox One style controllers. That's what's quite interesting. I wasn't entirely sure if it's the same, those controllers sliding inside, but I don't think so. I think it's just one of those pro controllers that is still compatible with the NX. Maybe that's something that's going to come out later on, which is very, very interesting. Maybe there will be bundles. I mean, as I said, we have no idea apart from they just keep showing the same thing pretty much. What also impressed me is that you can have, like, I don't know, up to 7 or 8 NXs, set them up next to each other, and 7 or more people can play on that. You can even play like basketball 2-on-2. 2 people will be playing on one NX and 2 will be on the other one. I'm not sure if it's going via the Bluetooth or the internet or infrared or something like that. That would be an interesting thing to find out. I mean, that's cool. Like this is the cool idea. You can have 4 people or maybe even more playing on, like I've seen something like an NBA in the trailer running there on the back. And yeah, 2 people were playing on one NX, and the opposite side they were set up like this. They were actually playing too. That's a good addition. Like there's even been like a show when they show a tournament where people just come in like on this fucking huge arena, which is never gonna happen obviously. They're sliding their tablet in there together with their controllers. They're picking up the pro controllers and they're just playing Splatoon, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, it's an awesome proposition. It's something that I wish more companies would actually do it. Interesting to see them going into that direction. I'm really, really excited, to be honest. Really, really excited. What remains to be seen is obviously the price. We already know the release date, which is somewhere in March 2017. What is interesting for me as well is the price, like I said, and what hardware is inside. Is it Tegra 2 or not? I'd rather pay an extra 50 to 100 bucks and get a Tegra 2 version than a Tegra X1, which is already 3 years old by now on the market. It would make the console really, really outdated. It also worth mentioning that we didn't really see that many third-party games promoted in that video. They showed Zelda, they showed Splatoon, I think they showed some, well, yeah, definitely Mario Kart, all the standard stuff. I think there was an NBA 2K, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, that's what it looked like. It could be Electronic Arts as well with the NBA Live. I wasn't entirely sure. So my impression so far, count me impressed. I kind of wanted more. I mean, let's see what kind of a hype it will start to generate. For now, I'm cautiously optimistic still, because the idea is novel. It's really nice. It will most likely kill off their home console and the handheld one, the 3DS and the Wii U, even though it says it's supposed to work alongside of them. But why would you need both of those if you have one device that pretty much is more powerful than both of them, and it's actually, I mean, more convenient. I mean, even the what actually like I like the most is like that part when the guy pulls up his NX on the plane. I hope it's not gonna have one of those explosive batteries, you know, as usual, with the Galaxy Note. But what was cool is that he just set it up. There's some kind of a stand at the back that you can kick off, put it on like a mini TV, just slide those controllers off and just go playing. Now, also, we also need to make sure that they need to clarify is that if you're using it without the station, basically the docking station, what kind of power is it going to have? Is it still going to be able to run the same games as it does when it's on the TV mode? Which I don't think so. Because there must be something in that dock, otherwise what's the point? The only thing they could possibly, like, they're not going to make a dock just for let's say additional power supply or something like that, or an HDMI out. Like they could easily integrate that. I mean, I understand that you're not going to just, it's going to be a pain in the ass to plug the tablet to the TV all the time. It would be nice if it could do like a Chromecast streaming, but I understand the latency and everything is a problem. Now, another issue is that I have this thing being so modular. How well are those things gonna be built? Because I don't want a device that feels flimsy in the hands. I don't want a device that if you drop it, the whole thing shatters like a jigsaw, you know? Like, and what will happen after people constantly pulling shit in and out of this console? And what's build quality going to be like? I mean, I've heard it's a magnetic thing, but which is fine, but at the same time, it's probably the best solution, because if you have like some kind of a locking mechanism, just a natural locking mechanism, that's gonna wear off very quickly, especially if you're like a proper gamer. But this seems to be like a device that will finally get the hardcore gamers, not the hardcore actually, the casual gamers back into proper gaming, hopefully. Now I want to know your ideas, your comments, anything. What do you think about the Nintendo Switch? I think the idea is cool. I don't like the name. I think it sounds really, really weird, Nintendo Switch. Like, I understand why they called it Switch, but it just doesn't sound right. Yeah, what are your thoughts on this console, on the NX, now called the Nintendo Switch, and what are you, like, are you excited? Are you actually sold on it already? Has it lived up to the hype that you've built yourself or you've heard about? And will you actually buy one? And what's the maximum price that you're willing to pay for the device like that? And also, I wanted to ask you one more thing, is like, do you think that this kind of a console will create the new market for hardware manufacturers to try to imitate or follow? Because I don't want Nintendo to be seen beaten at their own game with Sony or Microsoft pulling similar stuff later on down the line. But it certainly gives Sony an idea, if they ever want to make a Vita again, how would it actually look like and what should it function as. But the thing is, Sony is not going to do that, because otherwise they'll be killing their home console for sure. So there you go, guys, girls, everyone who's been watching, please subscribe to this channel. Not an easy time for me, but I'm still doing it. I apologize that I'm not having this professional setup now and editing tricks and stuff like that. I'm doing my best with what I can. Time to hit the sack soon because, I mean, I've not been getting much sleep anyway. So subscribe to the channel, leave the comments below, click the like button, share the video, and I'll see you everyone on the next episode of Game Vortex in my mobile command center. Thank you, and bye-bye.